The housing market here in Vermont is staying stable. Prices are not falling off of a cliff. We see that in the November data that we're going to take a look at in this video. Now, some things to note, new listings did rise both throughout the entire state of Vermont and around Chittenden County. And despite new listings, more listings coming to the market than there were this time last year, there's still enough buyers to gobble up those listings to take them off the market and keep active inventory relatively low. So what does this mean for you as a home buyer or a home seller right now in December of 2023? And what does this mean for you moving into the future? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. But first, my name is Liam O'Reilly. I'm a realtor in Vermont with Jerry Riley Real Estate. If you have any real estate needs, all of my contact information is in the description. Feel free to reach out to me directly. And let's get right into this video here. So starting off, this is the median sales price. This is a chart of the median sales price in the entire state of Vermont for single family homes. As you can see, home prices are down slightly month over month, but they're still up 4.2% year over year. And something to keep in mind is that homes that closed in November went under contract in August and September and October, where interest rates were around 8%. So despite high interest rates, people are still able to buy these homes and to gobble up the inventory that's out there. And we see that in the median days on market. So let's take a look at that real quick. The median days on market for the entire state is around 13 days. It's down about 50% from this time last year. Remember, November of 2022, rates were also very high. They were in around 7.5%, and that was probably the slowest time of the year for 2022. So even though rates were around 8% this year, there's still enough buyers out there to eat up that inventory. Now, the new listings that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we can see here that they're down month over month, which is typical. When we enter into the winter season, things start to slow down. People are focused on the holidays. They're not as focused on purchasing real estate. So naturally, listings tend to drop this time of the year. But despite that, when we look at it compared to this time last year, listings are up by about 10% year over year. So more inventory is coming to the market. But when we take a look at what happened to active inventory is basically unchanged. We see here 0.0% change in the active inventory year over year. So not many more homes are sitting on the market compared to this time last year, at least across the entire state of Vermont. Now, when we take a look at what happened in Chittenden County, because the story is a little bit different here, as you can see, median sales price is still relatively stable in Chittenden County as well. It came down a little bit off of its peak during the summer, but that's typical for real estate. Typically, the median sales price increases over the summer as more people are listing. There's more expensive listings coming on the market in the spring and summertime. And so it's down slightly, but it's not falling off a cliff by any means. It's remaining relatively stable near its all-time highs, and it's up 8.7% in Chittenden County. Now, when we take a look at new listings and active inventory, that's where things start to change a little bit. So new listings in Chittenden County are up 30% from last year. Now, it's at 87 new listings, so it's not like there's a flood of inventory coming to the market, but still, more sellers are listing their homes this year than they were last year, and that's having an effect on the active inventory around Chittenden County as well. So active inventory is up 25%. So these listings are not getting scooped up quite as fast as we're seeing throughout the rest of the state of Vermont. Now, what does this mean for you as a home buyer or a home seller right now in December of 2023? We're going to take a look at some closed sales to see how many homes are selling for below list price, how many are selling for above list price. But overall, it means that the market is still relatively strong. I just submitted an offer over the weekend, and there were 5 offers on that home. Now, we're not seeing 20 offers on properties like we were back in 2021 and 2020, but there are still more buyers than there are sellers in the market right now. That being said, some listings are sitting for a little bit longer, and on the listings that are sitting for longer, there's an opportunity to get those homes for under list price. So if you're a buyer right now, I think targeting those homes with more days on market gives you the best opportunity to get the best deal. That being said, some sellers are still able to get list price or over list price, even if the home sat on the market for quite some time. And we'll see that in some of the closed sales here. Now, if you're a seller, I think it's really important to understand what you're selling, understand what your home is, how it plays into the overall housing market, and price your home attractively. Try to get offers in that first weekend. That's going to be your best chance of getting multiple offers and selling for over list price. But let's take a look at some of these past sales here, and then we'll talk about what lies ahead in 2024. So this is just the back end of MLS here. We're going to take a look at a handful of listings at a variety of price points just to see what happened. And if we look at the top right here, we see the list price and the sold price and days on market. So this home in Stowe, 10 days on market, sold for about $50,000 under list price, obviously a higher end price point for around the area. This home in Jericho sold right at list price. We have this one in Essex, again, right at list price, 29 days on the market. So about a month on the market, and they were still able to get the price that they were hoping for with this property. Let's take a look at a few more. This one in Williston, 4 days on market, they got $75,000 over what they were asking for. Another one in Williston, a little bit more than what they were asking for, about $20,000 over. This one in Essex, 82 days on market, and they got $35,000 under list price. So not even 5% under the list price is what the sellers were able to negotiate with the buyers at this home. Now, I do think 800,000 is a great price for this property, but still, we're not seeing that many homes sell for 10% or 20% under list price. It's all relatively close to the list price, even if it's slightly below. Let's take a look at a few more here, kind of in the mid-tier price range. So East Terrace and South Burlington, listed for $550, sold for $550, 161 days on the market. So almost 6 months on the market, they were still able to get the price that they were hoping for. And this is something to keep in mind if you're a home buyer out there and you're offering under list price, that sellers might not want to negotiate. They might want to hold out if they feel like their home is priced properly, and they're oftentimes finding a buyer for the home at that price. Now, this home in Georgia sold for about $40,000 over what they were hoping for. Bristol at list price. This one in Milton's under list price. So Essex, $5,000 less than list price, 39 days on market. So not huge price drops, 5 days on market, and they got about $20,000 under list price. That's pretty significant. To have that little days on market and sell for that far under list price, that's something you don't see too often. This one in Middlebury, they listed for 600,000, ended up accepting something around 500,000. So that one, the buyers were able to negotiate with the sellers and get a significant price drop. Let's take a look at the lower price range and then talk about 2024 here. So Barry, 375, got 375. Winding Brook, 334, they got 370. So again, it really varies, and you have to understand what you're purchasing here. So 360 in Williston, they got 355. You have to understand what type of property you're purchasing, if the home is underpriced or overpriced, and that's important for both buyers and sellers. What are you buying? What are you selling? And what price should you offer if you're a buyer, or where should you list if you're a seller? Those are all important things to think about. Now, some sellers are negotiable, as we saw with that home in Middlebury. They accepted around $100,000, or about $90,000, I guess, under what they had it listed for. But the majority of properties are selling for right around list price here in the state of Vermont. Homes are still selling relatively quickly, and there are still multiple offer situations going on. Now, as we move into 2024, we've seen rates drop off of their peak. And if we take a look at the NEFQ data here, so NEFQ posts their rates online. They currently have their best 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 6.375%. So that's significantly under their high this year, which was right at 8%. So rates have come down over 1.5%, almost 2%, which is going to bring more buyers into the market. There's a lot of buyers. There were more buyers than there were sellers when rates were at 8%. Homes were still selling quickly. And now that rates are dropping, that's going to bring more buyers into the market, and potentially make things more competitive as we move into the new year. So as we look ahead to 2024, there's a lot of question marks in the overall economy about where everything is heading. But I think even if we see unemployment start to tick up slightly, if interest rates start to fall, that's going to bring more buyers into the market than there are right now. And we could see home prices start to tick back up as we move throughout the year. So if you're a home buyer, I think now is probably the best time to jump into the market, make offers, and try to get a home under contract, because although some properties are getting multiple offers, some properties are selling for over list price, it's slower than it has been in the past, and there are opportunities for you out there. As we move into the spring, if rates continue to drop, that's not guaranteed to be there. The opportunities that are in the market right now are not guaranteed to last, and we could see more multiple offer situations, home prices start to tick up if rates come down, or even stay around where they are right now. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. My name is Liam O'Reilly. Reach out to me if you have any real estate needs. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.